The broadcast came at 0400 Terran Standard Time, a static-laced emergency signal from the Corellian system, one of Earth's closest interstellar allies. In shaky, panicked tones, a Corellian ambassador screamed about betrayal about Council, warships firing on refugee convoys, about orbital bombardments lighting their skies. And then, silence dot by dawn, 20 billion Corellians were dead. The Galactic Council called it a strategic cleansing. The humans called it murder. Admiral Sarah Kovalis stood in silence aboard the TSS Vengeance, watching the last images from Corellia replay on the holoscreen. Cities vaporized. Children incinerated mid-flight. Civilians dragged from tunnels and executed by drone squads. Council forces wore polished armor and smiles. Earth's delegation on Capital Prime had been recalled, their embassy scorched clean in a single retaliatory orbital lance. There were no more talks, no appeals, no diplomacy. Earth's silence spoke, louder than any declaration. And then came the fire. "Deploy the 7th Fleet," Kovalov commanded. Her voice echoed through the silence of the command deck. 7 fleets moved in formation from Sol, Titan, and Mars orbit. Stealth drones flanked their wings. Carriers the size of moons began FTL acceleration. Warships once reserved for extinction level, threats now bore the name of vengeance. The Council's mistake wasn't just underestimating. Humanity's resolve. It was forgetting who taught them war in the first place. The Galactic Council had long seen Earth as ... useful. Humans were strategic, innovative, unreasonably stubborn, but manageable. For decades, Earth played by the rules. Treaties, trade, sanctions. They watched allies be crushed, always holding back, always trusting process over retaliation. But Corellia was different. The Corellians had saved humans during the Maelstrom Reaper plagues. They'd spilled blood beside Terran forces against the Zarn in the Eastern Rifts. They were family, and the Council burned them alive. When the 7th Fleet arrived in orbit over Council core world Trell 9, they didn't issue a warning. They broadcast footage of netted images of Corellian children lying in ash. And then Earth spoke for the first time in 3 days. Conversation ended. Judgment begins. The bombardment was unlike anything recorded in galactic warfare. Neutrino warheads detonated in the ionosphere, blinding their satellites. Magneto-pulse disruptors tore communication networks from the crust. Quantum AI drones infiltrated planetary defense systems and turned their own cannons inward. And from above, Earth's orbital forges dropped kinetic rods, tungsten pillars from low orbit, moving at Mach 12. They struck without sound, cratering cities in perfect silence before shockwaves arrived. The Council sent fleets. They vanished in cold space before they could even fire. Earth subspace jammers turned their faster-than-light comms into dead static. Hyperspace gates were locked, overridden by Terran quantum codes no other species could crack. It wasn't war. It was surgical annihilation. By the time Council Command realized Earth's fleets had split, it was already too late. Human dreadnoughts struck Serac Prime, Valoran Nexus, and Yarick Sanctum simultaneously. Not to conquer, not to occupy. To erase. Entire command bunkers were vaporized by railgun impacts traveling at relativistic speeds. Council AI tried to counter with swarms of countermeasures only to be infected with human-made viral code named RAF, Eshe, which force-looped trauma footage from Corellia across all devices. Council diplomats begged for talks. Earth never replied. 6 days later, the Council's throne world Capital Prime stood defenseless. Overhead, the TSS Vengeance held position. Admiral Kovalov opened the final channel. Her face was scarred, solemn, but unshaken. You declared war when you slaughtered the innocent. You called it cleansing. You called it policy. We call it genocide. And we answered genocide with justice. She paused. From this moment on, Earth no longer recognizes the authority of your council. We are not your inferiors. We are not your diplomats. We are not your cattle. She stepped back as the command. Since with the Terran Fleet AI, we are humanity. And we do not forget. Then the skies of Capital Prime turned black with fire. 1 week later, Galactic silence reigned. Of the Council's 412-member worlds, 137 had gone dark. Their governments collapsed, their fleets shattered. Civilians fled to the Outer Rim in panic. Refugees began carving the words Earth Watches onto their ships, hoping it would protect them. Other species, the ones who had stayed neutral, the ones who had warned the Council, stood in awe and terror. Humanity had spoken. They had not come to negotiate. They had come to end. Far away. In the burned ruins of what once was Capital Prime, a child crawled from the rubble. A Terran soldier lifted her gently, offering water. Around her, the Earth Relief Corps had already landed doctors, engineers, psychologists. Humanity didn't come to conquer. They came to cleanse the rot and rebuild what the Council destroyed. Even in vengeance, they brought Hoke because that was Earth's true weapon, not fire, but memory.